Hey everyone, it's Theo, and it's now time for another Emerald City video, and this time we're going to be doing Ruthless Survival. This is another Water Bee special, so let's go ahead and get started. So we are starting the map off with all 4 of my heroes already in, so I'm just going to go ahead and, hide them, and we're going to go ahead and build our ore stack right here. And snare and strength drain on top of the cart. We'll bring in our hermit, and we're going to be building 6 seed bomb towers. Yeah, seed bomb towers. So we're going to have 1 that's going to point right at the crystal, 4 in this space over here, and then 1 covering that space, and 1 covering that space. We're going to go ahead and swap over to our EV, and we're going to build a reflect beam and a buff beam. Yep, there we go. And that is a 4DU buff beam, and we'll go ahead and upgrade that buff beam. Then we'll go ahead and swap over to our huntress, and we're going to build a single gas trap. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab this chest over here, and then run over here. We'll upgrade this buff beam, and then I'm going to put a gas trap right there. Alright, now we just warp over to this section, and we're going to put another gas trap right here. There we go. Alright, we'll go ahead and swap over to our hermit, and we're going to build some seed bomb towers over here. Kind of right there in front of the crystal. So we're going to point 2 behind, towards the back of the crystal. And then we got 2 facing that direction, and then 1 facing kind of diagonal that way to cover that lane. And we're just going to place a buff beam right there, a 4DU buff beam, and we'll go ahead and upgrade that buff beam. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my initiate, and I'm building a strength drain and an ensnare aura as well. Alright, we upgrade the buff beam. There we go. Now we're going to go to the other crystal in the middle, and we're going to place a ensnare and a strength drain aura there as well. We'll bring in our series EV, and we're going to go ahead and go to the genie lamp, warp up here, and place our 4DU buff beam right up here. And we'll go ahead and upgrade that as well. Alright, we'll swap over to our adept now, and we're going to go ahead and get some more mana. There we go. I'll upgrade my buff beam, and the rest of the towers are going to be lightning towers. Alright, bam, 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 bam. And now we're going to go ahead and swap over to our summoner, and we are just going to place some spiders. Just 1 at each space. We'll put 1 right over here, and we're going to put 1 at this staircase and 1 at the other entrance over here, and then we'll put another 1 right on the gas trap right there. So we have 4 spider minions out there. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in my upgrader adept, and I'm taking my tower boost monk, and we're coming up here, and we're going to point in this direction, and that's where we'll be shooting and tower boosting. And I already have 2 apprentices already with Hunk, 2 apprentices with guardians. So I have 1 with a monk and 1 with a huntress guardian. Now you could definitely you could use guardian summoners if you wanted to put up here. But why have to swap around all your heroes at the last wave, since there's only just a few waves. So I'm just going to have, I just put my guardians on my 2 apprentices, and these are basically my DPS apprentices. They're just wearing guardians for this map, and they're just going to hang out, by the lightning towers. And my adept upgrader is going to be pointing, I'm down below my towers, and I'm just shooting at that spawn, and I'm upgrading all. And so I have all of my LTs now upgraded. And now I'm going to come down to the watery area, and I'm going to go ahead and get all of these seed bomb towers upgraded. And then last, I will upgrade the towers where all the wyverns spawn. So I can say that this is a far more chill build than the campaign version of this map. I much prefer the survival version of this. It is easier and takes about just as much time to do this than it does the campaign maps. So I think when we get to the end, we'll see that overall your combat time is going to be around 9.5 minutes, which is what I got for my campaign runs without all of the campaign headaches. So I think if you're wanting to farm emerald staffs, you're wanting to farm emerald accessories, survival is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. Unless you just like to be active and want to, defeat the boss. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, you could obviously, say, have a guardian summoner with a huntress and monk guardian and a jester who just rolls the whole time. You could definitely do that. For me, I just didn't go that route. I wanted if you want to go faster, you can definitely quicken the waves if you do it like that. Obviously, you're waiting for these last few mobs to die. Having a jester rolling is fine. But like I said, I didn't want to, bring in heroes for wave 30, 33 and 34, then swap out heroes again. So I just went this route. For me, I call this is just the chiller route. I already have all my heroes in. I upgrade the first wave, and then that's it. I ride out the rest of the waves with the same heroes. So I did bring in, now that all my towers are upgraded, I did bring in my Builder Adept. So now I'm getting that great, sweet 33% bonus to my towers because the builder is, in during the wave. So that's the wave, that's the setup. And so now what we're just going to do is tower boost and wait to the end. There's nothing more for us to do. So I'll be back when we get closer to the end. All right, we are getting close to the end, and I think it's safe to say that this really felt like a very, very chill run. Not nearly as hectic as the campaign feels, and so I'm pleasantly surprised at how comfortable this build feels. So all thanks and shout outs go to Waterbee. They're the ones who made the video that really encouraged me and made me feel that I could actually do this, because I did not run this map very much at all. So did we get anything decent? I mean, desert goblins, not really used too much. And we didn't get the ++ emerald staffs that we were looking for. Better luck next time, but we did get some more accessories. So, as we see here, our combat time is 9.5 minutes. My build time is just about the same as my other time for my campaign maps were. So, not too shabby. It feels very comfortable. Definitely a build worth using, especially if you're wanting to get a nice DPS emerald staff for your DPS apprentice. But that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching, and happy farming.